Okay, so stoichiometry, you guys were confused about it today in class. So today we're going to take a look at it and make sure that we understand a little better. So we're in my Williams think tank. Here it is, the tank right there. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to do, hopefully using a different idea that will get things across to you. So stoichiometry is just a conversion. It's doing a bunch of conversions all at one time. So I'm going to show you one that maybe you're more familiar with and more comfortable with. So say you go to Europe and you go to a place that has euros. Yay, there's a euro symbol, right? And you want to buy something that looks like this. But you're working for a company that wants to buy lots of these. So we need to know, first off, how much does that cost in euros? And then we need to find out how many of these things does it take to buy one of these. So we're going to have to convert because obviously I can't buy these things in euros if I have George Washington in my pocket. It doesn't work. So I need to find out how much it is. So let's say we have, I am worth exactly 25 euros. You like euros? I like euros. Everybody likes euros. So we have 25 euros is how much our little friend costs. We need to go from 25 euros to the cost in dollars. So we have to look at something. What do we have to look at? We have to look at this thing called the exchange rate. So exchange rate currently, I'm making this up, but it may or may not be currently this way. For $1, we have $1, bam, right there. It costs $1 is equal to half of a euro. Or another way to put it, €1 is equal to $2. Make sense? Okay. Maybe it'll make more sense if I don't write that as a decimal. Half a euro. So I have half a euro and $2. And I know that costs 25 euros for my friend there. So I'm going to take this idea and say I need to buy 10,000 of my friends. So 10,000 of my friends is going to cost how many euros? 10,000. If you need to, use one of these things. Hopefully you don't need to use one of these things. But if you do, 10,000 times 25 is equal to 250,000 euros. So I have 250,000 euros, and I have to find out exactly how many of those I can buy with money, with American money. So 25,000 euros. There's my line problem. I need to use something. What am I going to need to use? Well, I'm going to need to use my conversion factor right here. This is the same as our mole ratio. At least the same idea. Mole ratio is just a rate of how many moles it takes to make one other thing. So I've got my mole ratio, or my currency exchange rate. I take and say I need to cancel out euros, so I have €1 is equal to $2. So my euros cancel out. I take $2 times 250,000, and that will make the cost of my friends there, at least 10,000 of them, a price of $500,000. $500,000. I like that money. Do you like that money? It's great. Oh, very nice. So that's how we look at it in terms of money. So now we're going to look at it in terms of moles. So I need to go take a look at my exchange rate. Where do I find my exchange rate? And money, I go look in the newspaper and I can find exchange rates. For chemistry, I look at the calculation found in the balanced chemical equation. So MnO2 plus H2O2 goes to form MnO and H2O and O2. There's my exchange rate. There's my currency. It tells me exactly. This is my newspaper clipping telling me how much MnO2 is worth in O2 and vice versa. In this case, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if I know how much O2 I need to have, or in this case euros, how many euros I need to have, say I need to have 224 liters worth of O2. How much MnO2 am I going to need to get into this? So start off with my line problem. Here's the quantity desired, the quantity known, and I need to go over here to what I need to put in, right? So MnO2. How much MnO2 do I need? So 224 liters. I have, how many liters in a mole? Well, I have to use my mole ratio, my molar volume. So I say I have 22.4 liters in 1 mole of O2. O2. I've told you guys you have to carry those things over because now it becomes important. If I don't know what I'm talking about, I can get lost in this equation. So it's important to use our numbers and our denotions of what was what so we can take a look and see what changes here and there. So now I'm in moles of O2. I have to go use my currency exchange rate. How many MnO2s do I have to O2s? I have a 1-to-1. So I have 1 mole of every O2 is equivalent to 1 mole of MnO2. So this is almost like going to Canada, where the exchange rate is almost dollar for dollar the same, just slightly less, depending on whose economy is doing better. Anyway, so now I got moles of MnO2. I need to get to grams of MnO2. So I take one more step. I need to convert to grams. So I have my formula weight of MnO2 is equal to 86.94 grams in 1 mole. I'm going off memory there, so I think it's 86.94. If I'm wrong, I know I will hear about it. So anyway, I think it's 86.94. So 86.94 grams of MnO2 per mole. So now I take my calculation, take 22.4 times everything on top. Oh, and I'm wrong. That I definitely would have heard about. Woo. Good thing I caught it, and this is only going to you guys, and like the rest of the universe, but nobody's going to watch me because of that. So, I take 1 mole MnO2 and put that on the bottom so they cancel out. Notice because of the line problem, I caught that problem before I tried to calculate. That's an important lesson. Don't you forget it, like me, and end up bad. Bad teacher, bad. So anyway, 1 mole MnO2 is equal to 86.94 grams. Now our grams are on top. Liters cancel out here. Moles cancel out there. Moles cancel out there. And we're left grams of MnO2 for answer. So we take our handy dandy calculator and we say 224 times 86.94. Divide that by 22.4. And our answer is 869.4. 869.4 grams of MnO2 to produce our 224 liters of stuff. And that makes sense because it should be our molar ratio because we have a mole. This is our molar volume. It's just up one size. And so we get out one more decimal place over for our molar mass there. Should make sense. 10 times the amount of molar volume, 10 times the amount of molar mass. Thanks. That's my 10 minutes. Hope it worked.